ago, my sister went missing, and in the midst of us looking for her, I found some of the darkest things about her. February 5th is my sister's birthday, today, and it was her 21st birthday when this happened. Today she turned 23, I believe. And when I went to go take her out to dinner, get her hair done, just have a good birthday for her 21st birthday as a big sister should, right? On this day, my sister wasn't answering her phone. She wasn't talking to nobody. She just was like in one of those zones where it's I'm dead to the world type shit. So as I'm concerned, I pull up to my mom's house where she stayed, and she basically was crying as soon as I got there. Like, Dad, and then me and my big sister do these. My heart is like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What happened? Like that type of time, and she didn't really want to say anything to my mom. So I'm like, what is wrong? So I took her to my car. So I'm like, what are you pregnant? Like I'm thinking all this stuff. She's like, like she's not. She's crying. She just like not saying words though. So she's like, So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, do I need to take you to the doctors? Like, what's going on? So she's like, no, I don't need to go to the doctors. I'm bleeding. I'm like, so you bleeding down there? So she had panties in her hands, balled up panties in her hands. I'm like, did you have a miscarriage? Like, do I need to take you to the hospital? So she's like, no. So now I'm concerned. Mind you, she got panties in this hand and sage in this hand. Why do you have sage? I don't know. She was going through a frantic. My sister get fried. So she was fried out her mind. You know how you get lost in your thoughts when you fried out your mind? That was her that day. Like, she was going zooted. I'm going to insert a picture of how she looked in my big seat. So I gave my big sister speech, tell her everything gonna be cool, whatever you're going through, pray about it, that type of time, because I'm a child of God, so I think God fixes all problems, and that's just what it is. So then she says she's not pregnant. So I'm like, so what? Why are you bleeding? I'm confused. Now, my sister is very secretive. Like, nobody knows anything about this girl. She lives her life in a secret, okay? And it's a reason why. So after I had my speech with her, I'm like, all right, just go in the house, get washed up. I'm going to come back. We're going to go to the Dominicans, get your hair blow dry. And we're going to go out to dinner tonight, right? So hours go past. I call my mom, like, is Lee ready? She like, Lee ain't here. So she left. So that night she left her phone. She went missing. Nobody knew where she went, right? You know, everybody know my sister has mental ill problems. Like, she needs to get 302. She needs her medication. Shit like that. But nobody in the family really take it serious. How they should. So I'm like, well, she said she was bleeding, so let's check the hospitals. So I'm calling the hospitals. They don't give you no information about nobody. So that was pointless. So I go to the hospital, see if I see her in like a waiting room, because in a Philadelphia hospital, you're not getting seen right away. So you might be in somebody's waiting area. She wasn't in the hospitals. So we riding around looking all over for her. Don't nobody know where she at. So that proceeds me to go through her phone. So as a big sister said, I'm going through her phone by myself. My mom not around. I'm going through her phone, and I'm like, all right, let me see the last people she was in contact with. Maybe I could call them and see if they spoke to her. So it was this one guy she was in contact with. He was like, oh, no, I haven't seen her in a couple days. Well, I was wrong. Mind you, my sister's 21 at the time. This man is like 30-something. So I'm thinking, like, maybe he got her, he kidnapped her or something. Like, all this bad shit is going through my head, right? Alright, it's getting late now, so nobody heard from her or whatever. We waited around, rode around, looking for her, nothing. We went to, like, her closest friends. She really don't even have any, so it was nowhere to look, to be honest. So, the next day rolled by. I'm like, Mom, did Lee ever come home? No, she never came home. So now we putting out a police missing person report, right? We did that, but because it wasn't 24 hours, really, it's like, alright, we gotta wait a couple more hours, and then the police will go out and look for her, whatever the case may be. Cool. So then I'm on my detective type shit. I'm all looking at her room, looking for clues, just looking all over the room, right? Her room smells like fucking piss. Like, she been depressed in her room, pissing in a fucking cup. Like, her clothes is packed up like she finna run away. She got all her notebooks laid out on the bed. Her notebooks had secrets in there. It had all her passwords in there. So I'm like, yo, maybe she really went missing. So, like, we really scared at this point, right? So remember I told y'all she got mental issues. So we start calling like the mental hospitals to see like if she checked herself in or whatever like that. So she didn't check herself inside the mental hospitals, but then my mom found out that she was at Einstein Hospital. So what I do as a big sister, I go to Einstein Hospital. So they couldn't really give me no information, and I didn't see her in the waiting room. So I'm like, maybe she admitted. So I just waited a couple hours to see, like, maybe she get discharged, maybe she'll like come around. No. So someone told me just to like start going through her phone. Like, parents, check your kids' phones, and I mean that. So because the hospital ain't give me no information, I'm just going through her phone trying to like get clues where she could fucking possibly be or whatever, right? So I went down a rabbit hole I should have never went down, but God was revealing it to me. Everybody familiar with Telegram chats? Yeah, she was in one of them. But it ain't no scam, and it ain't no tricks or no fucking pics or no none of that in that bitch. What the fuck was in there, you'll never, ever want to see. Okay, this is part 2 of how my sister went missing and ended up doing 40 years. Okay, so let's rewind. So I'm going through her phone. I'm in a Telegram chat, and it's some deep, dark shit in that bitch, okay? Now let's go back. Before I even get into it, let's go back. January 26th is my man's birthday. Remember, this was all happening February 6th. So January 26th is my man's birthday. I asked her to babysit my daughter. Now, this is a fresh year. We don't really get out. I try to do something nice for my man. We don't really get no babysitters, because the village ain't villaging over here, okay? But who was willing to watch my baby? My sister, who I loved and trust with all my heart, right? Who I never would think would do some crazy shit. Not to me, right? Now let's go back to what's in the messages. I told y'all she babysitting my kid, right? So I'm scrolling at her messages. I'm looking like, what the fuck am I watching? Child P? Oh, hell no. But my curiosity got the best of me, and I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I should have stopped, but something just like, she's replying. Keep scrolling to see what this bitch is talking about. Y'all, she's saying some foul ass shit in the messages. Now, I'm going to put the full story time on YouTube, and it's going to have everything on that bitch. So make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I read a message that say, she got cameras, so I'm gonna have to take her upstairs. Take who upstairs? So that just makes me go look. Oh, bitch, what the fuck is you talking about? So I go back to the day, January 26th, where she watched my motherfucking child. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna take her upstairs or in the bathroom. I'm gonna do her dirty. I'm gonna send her to you. I got a niece and a nephew. We gonna make them do it while we do it with each other, and then we gonna switch them all and all this stuff. Man, all I could do was drop to my knees and scream. So I'm just telling me keep scrolling up though. Like, the guy was like, you gotta keep going, girl. You gotta keep going. And I kept going until there was videos that was unsent. Like, she sent videos and he's like, oh my God, do something. Like, it's some, I don't even remember everything that he said, but it just got me down on my knees crying. Like, I literally was crying. Like, I was stuck. All I could do was just scream. Literally. First thing I do, my man is concerned. What's going on? What's going on? I tell him what's up. He called 911 immediately. That's the right thing to do. Call 911. If you don't understand what I'm saying, call 911. I don't care who it is. Now, I live in Philadelphia, so 911 ain't coming right away. We waited hours and hours. I called my mom. Your daughter's a fucking pedophile! Now, me and my mom, we ain't on the best of terms. I ain't talked to my mom in years. I don't speak to her, none of that. But my mama came to my house in less than 5 minutes. By the time my mom got there, I just handed her the phone. I didn't have no words. Like, I was like zoned out. Like, I was so stuck. They're like, Todd, Ty, I could just, all I did was just like sit there like this. My mom's hugging me. I didn't feel a hug from my mom in so long. She's just like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm just stuck, y'all. Like, I'm just zoned out. Like, everything, it's so much shit going through my head. Like, I couldn't even hear people. Like, I stopped. It's at a point where I silenced everything around me. So we waited and we waited for the fucking cops to come. Mind you, this happened at like 5 o'clock. The cops ain't come till like 9 o'clock. But right before they came, I was just done being in my thoughts. I grabbed put it on my motherfucking side, got in my car, put that joint on my chair, and I was just about to drive to my mama's house. And I just was going off her. Can't say it. But that's what was going through my head. But soon as I turned out of my garage, guess who pulls out? The motherfucking cops. Oh, the Lord was the cops that day, because they saved me and they saved her. I'm telling you. Me and my big dad, I got 2 phones at this time, so I'm showing them all the stuff that I screen recorded off her phone. I mean, that I'm videotaped off of the phone that she had. I just was like, I couldn't explain what the fuck she done. I just had to show them for myself. Like, this is what she did. They like, come down. We take this very serious. Come down to the police station. So I had to go down to DHS. And I'm telling you, they had me sitting there for hours. I'm like, are y'all going to get her? She's going to get away. She's a runaway. She's going to get away. Are you going to go get her or what? Because if it was up to me, she wasn't making it back. They're like, yeah, we just got to get some evidence. We just got to get a little bit more before we just pick her up and grab her. Now, so they asked me all these questions. They told me to show them the phone. They got to leak the messages, because Telegram chat is not something that you could just, that cops can just pull messages from. They got to have warrants and all this type stuff. So this was a long case. Like, so I waited there hours. I'm sleepy. I'm zoned out my mind, y'all. I'm telling y'all, my mind's not there. So they just got me sitting in this fucking cold ass fucking DHS office, and I'm just zoned out. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do at this point. Like, I want revenge. That's like, my heart is boiling because I want revenge, but I'm zoned out because how could somebody that I trusted and loved, that I was literally about to take out the day before to celebrate their 21st birthday, do this to me and mine? How could you? I felt betrayed. I felt like I was in a movie or some shit, y'all. So the cops finally realized where the fuck she was at. She checked herself into a mental facility where the fuck she belonged. Because, bitch, you out your motherfucking rabbit ass minds to do something to mine. But they couldn't arrest her just yet, so they said. They had to wait until the warrant. They had to wait till all this. So she's just inside of a mental facility. The cops don't want us to tell her that we know what she did, because they don't want her to try to run away from the facility and stuff like that. So she's just in there thinking like she get 302. She's like calling family members saying that she need this and she need this from the house, and family already know, bitch, you fucked up. So nobody's really like catering to her needs. Like, no, bitch, you dead to the family at this point, right? TikTok, she SA'd my daughter, my 1-year-old daughter. So eventually they scoop her up and they take her downtown, because that's where the feds is at. They take her downtown. She's just sitting there. So one day I get a call like, I'm sorry for what I done. This is blank. I'm sorry for what I done. No crying, no tears, no, like, she didn't have no feelings about it. Like, she wasn't really sorry. Like, it's like, she ain't sorry. She's saying that because the social worker right there, but she ain't fucking sorry. That's how I realized she was very, very sick in the fucking head. Because how could you do such thing and then have the fucking ability to call my phone just to say your blank ass, I'm sorry? What the fuck I'm going to do with I'm sorry? What's done is done. How are you sexually attracted to a 1-year-old? I don't understand. She was 1 year old at the time. Literally. So she sat for 2 years, and finally, the day I was coming back from my vacation, FBI texted me, yeah, your sister was sentenced 40 years in prison. And when she's going to get out when she's 60-something years old. And although I feel guilty because, like, damn, I really the one who got you 40 years, but you really got yourself 40 years. So I don't feel that bad about it, because you're a sick individual and you're right where the fuck you belong. Because some people and their families, they let this go on for decades and decades, but something told me to star in my chest, I'm the chosen one. And I'm breaking generational curses within the family. And that's one, period. So thanks y'all for listening. I know the story might be all over the place, but thanks for listening. Somebody on my YouTube gonna say, I wanted to go out so bad, hold myself accountable for what happened to my daughter. How am I supposed to think that my sister was a motherfucking... I can't even say the word. How am I supposed to know that she was regular all my motherfucking life? She didn't act like that. There was no signs of that. Like, and if it was signs of, like, okay, she's a little bit off, but it wasn't no signs of, oh, this girl's into CP. No, it never gave that. And I said, I don't go out often. So the day that I did go out, I was going through postpartum depression. I finally got out the fucking house. Finally. Do you know what it's like to be in a house with 2 kids underneath 2? And, okay, it's my man's birthday. Let us go out for 2 hours. Bitch, how dare you blame me? Let me get this straight. So, are we, like, saying that everybody that has autism likes children? Is that what we saying? Because, like, how do you know that because somebody has autism, they're automatically like to touch on kids? How do you verify that from that? I don't understand. How does it correlate? Let me know when y'all find out, because it's a lot of people with autism. Are we just going around saying that they touch on children? Is that what we saying? I'm gonna be chewing my goddamn gum, because you wanna know why? It's a coping mechanism for me, because I have really bad anxiety, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get through this video without chewing. Now I got all y'all smacking the gum. I can't get past the gum. I can't get past it. So it's like, no. What I'm gonna do for y'all, just because y'all came over here to my YouTube channel, I'm gonna spit out. Thank God. Now, if I'm all over the place because I ain't got my gum, that's on y'all. Pray to who? To that sage? To what? Give yourself to him. Do you see yourself right here in this camera? I'll put this camera on for you to see yourself. Do you see yourself right now? Get it the fuck together. And